154. Children's Crusade. Chalcedon Report number 152, April 1978. Because of his humanism, modern man believes strongly in the innocence of children and their natural goodness. It is the world, the environment which is sinful, whereas, as Wordsworth wrote, in his Ode on Intimations of Immortality, of children it must be said that trailing clouds of glory do we come into this world, unhappily. Shades of the prison house begin to close upon the growing boy. These ideas were not new with Wordsworth. In the modern era, they went back to at least John Locke, who borrowed them from Aristotle and the scholastics. The medieval version had led to the gospel of the child, a heresy culminating in the disaster of the Children's Crusade in 1212. Adults believed in the child and the power of the child's purity, and children learned this new faith from their parents and fervently preached it. The children actually believed that their, quote, innocent, end quote, would result in miracles to transport them over the sea to the Holy Land. Who would remain here when there lies a path in the sea between emerald walls to the land where glory awaits us? They declared, between waters which are to be to us as a wall on the right hand and the left, are we to cross the untrodden bed of the sea, and with dry feet will we stand on the distant beach by the walls of Acre of Tripoli. We bear no weapons and we wear no armour. The pathway of other crusaders may be marked by the stain of blood and the glitter of steel, and martial music may have timed their many steps. But our pilgrim's robes are our armour, our crosses are our swords, and our hymns shall time our march. J. C. Gray, The Children's Crusade, 1870, 1972, pages 86 and 108. What the children gained was either death, slavery, venereal diseases, or, at the least, disillusionment. Of nearly 100,000 children, 1/3 never returned home. The Student Crusade of the 1960s was another like movement. The students began with a belief in their holiness and the evil of the world. It was their mission to bring the world to peace by imposing their holiness upon it. One scholar dates the origin of the movement in October 1955 when Allen Ginsberg read his poem, Howl, at the San Francisco Sixth Gallery. Its message was simplicity itself. The world is like a madhouse because of the evil establishment, whereas everything is in and of itself holy. It is the duty of youth, before all are driven mad like young Carl Solomon, to redeem the world. Ginsberg said, I'm putting my queer shoulder to the wheel. Soon, many more young shoulders, queer and unqueer, were being put to the wheel. The results were even more disastrous than in 1212. In the conflict with ancient evils, the Youth Crusade invented its own variations. It raged with Phariseeism against all evil outside itself, and failed to see that, in the process, it was compounding evil with evil. For most, the movement ended with disillusionment, narcotics, disease, or a retreat into the pleasure principle of the sexual revolution. Others, more hardened in their self-righteousness, went underground to make up various worldwide terrorist groups. Its gospel of love, innocence, and change had hardened into murder. The above-ground movement is even more ominous. It has taken a new form, the Children's Bill of Rights movement, an effort in varying degrees all over the world to, quote, free, end quote, the child from parental and church controls and give him the right to govern himself as he pleases. The child, it is believed, will somehow still save us. What is surprising is that these movements did not come sooner and more drastically. Their basic principles have been taught for generations, as I pointed out in The Messianic Character of American Education. Most graduation speakers from grade school through the university have been preaching the gospel of the child for generations. Sooner or later, this was bound to produce action and results. Rousseau, of course, was one of the great earlier preachers of this faith, and we have a series of revolutions to thank him for. Friedrich Froebel, 1782 to 1852, an educational philosopher of very great influence, had warbled, "Dear children, we will learn from you." If children feel they know better than their parents and are rebellious, they do so with good reason. Our humanistic schools have taught them to think so. Nora Smith, a theorist of the kindergarten, wrote in a Ladies' Home Journal book, The Kindergarten in a Nutshell, 1907, that mothers had a rare honour in carrying their children. Like St. Christopher, we have borne the Christ upon our shoulders. When the educator and kindergarten theorist, Emma Marwadell, lay dying in 1893, she said, "I believe in the power of the kindergarten to reform the world." Since 1893, we have been seeing more and more of the meaning of that, quote, reform, end quote. The spirit of Crusades is to locate the holy, good, innocent or pure class in society or age group. This pure group has been variously identified as the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, the workers, the capitalists, the intellectuals, the children, women, and so on. The quest goes on. It has also been sought in various nations and races. Where is the Sir Galahad to find the Holy Grail and change the world and recharge it with his purity? All such crusading is an implicit or explicit denial of Jesus Christ and his word. It looks for a redeemer other than Christ and a plan other than God's law and kingdom. Such quests and crusades glorify self-righteousness and Pharisaism, and they are uniformly blind to their own sinfulness. Their failures are always blamed on an evil world and an evil establishment. The world was not ready for their purity and wisdom. The disillusioned ranks of the Crusaders keep looking for another leader, another charismatic figure, one who can charm the snakes of evil out of their fangs and poisons, part the waters or walk on water, and somehow deliver mankind. The enthusiasm and fervour of political campaigns tell us that men are looking, not for sound and godly administration, but for miracles and miracle workers. It is their passionate hope that this new man might be the real one. Meanwhile, they turn their backs on God the Saviour, and the only means for man's redemption, Jesus Christ.